Well, as we all know, there's no shortage of need in these difficult times during this pandemic. Here to talk about how the Niagara community is responding to that need, we have Bryan Rose, the Executive Director of the Niagara Community Foundation. Welcome, Bryan.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Bryan, you've announced a significant amount of funding to go specifically to COVID-19 oriented causes. Can you explain some of that?
Absolutely. So over the past couple of weeks, our staff team, in conjunction with our board of directors and a number of our fund holders, have worked together to try and be part of what has been an overwhelmingly positive community response to the COVID-19 crisis. And we've also worked with a number of our charity partners, including the amazing work being done by United Way Niagara and also Niagara Health. So the first step was United Way Niagara had pulled out a call for funding to provide basic necessities and food and to spread those out throughout the region, those necessities. So we wanted to be part of that. And we also encouraged some of our other fund holders in the community, and the Branscombe Family Foundation were one group that did respond, which was great. So, and then we did reach out to Niagara Health to ask them how we could be part of a solution for them and what they needed. My counterpart, Roger Ali, put a proposal together, let us know what their need was, and we were able to patch together $270,000 to be able to provide vital equipment, ventilators, and new beds.
For people who don't understand how this all works, the Niagara Community Foundation is sort of how would you describe it? It's sort of, you sponsor these funds, but these funds are controlled by different organizations under your umbrella?
To a certain extent. So we are a charity of charities. So we're non-governmental, but we're not a family foundation. So we're sort of a private public foundation. But what we do is we provide support and granting funds to charities mainly throughout the Niagara region. These funds are created by local people from Niagara, whether they're families or businesses. So they invest that money, they make a donation. But the difference between us and the United Way is another local funder. For the United Way, for them, it's money in, money out. So you give them $100, and then they deploy that money into the community right away. What we do is we take the assets and the donations that are given to us, and we invest them. And so it's the investment revenue that we then turn around on an annual basis and grant out to charities, again, mainly throughout the Niagara region.
In your conversations with Roger Ali, $270,000, how many ventilators does that buy, and how soon will they have those ventilators for use?
So that's a great question, Mike. So my understanding is that what we've been able to patch together with the whole $270,000, I believe that will be able to pay for 4 new ventilators and 4 of these specialized hospital beds. You know, the new beds that are mechanical and move up and down and can do all the things that are required in modern healthcare. So the ventilators themselves are almost $70,000 a piece. So this is not an insignificant a piece of equipment for sure. So so for us to be able to help provide 4 new ones for them plus some beds is a great a great partnership. My understanding from Roger is that Niagara Health had put in their order for these pieces because they were in such desperate need for them. They should be delivered sometime in May, I believe. And for them, they are working very hard to try and fundraise to afford all of the pieces of equipment. So for us, we're kind of like the white knight coming in on the horse to a bit of a rescue, because the government won't really fund a lot of equipment. It's up to the individual hospital. So for them, this is our partnership with the Niagara Health Foundation and Niagara Health. So
thank you very much for your time today, Bryan.
Thank you, Mike. Really appreciate the invitation, and thanks for highlighting the wonderful things that are happening by so many community members here in Niagara. The Community Foundation, we know we're just one funder, one group that's trying to have a positive difference here in Niagara. So we're just proud to be part of it.
Thank you very much again. That's Bryan Rose from the Niagara Community Foundation, Executive Director, and they announced late last week $300,000 in donations for COVID-19 charities. We'll be back with more in a moment.